just assigned the USS Stingray a new crew.
Get your hands off me!
Skilled in military technology.
Oh, it's a little tickle.
Dedicated to teamwork and camaraderie.
There was a fingernail in my food yesterday. It was a Band-Aid. Sorry, sir. Band-Aid was holding fingernail on.
And they're about to get the leader they truly deserve.
Third in his class at sub-school.
Who did?
Cited for tactical excellence.
We have a shooting solution.
He's one of the Navy's finest.
Fire one!
Oh, get up there, you miserable little puke!
Lieutenant Commander Thomas Dodge.
Ready to pick up my new submarine? Oh, do you need anything from me? Driver's license, credit card?
There she is right now. Your new boat.
No disrespect to the USS Rust-Oleum here, but this is ridiculous.
Now, together.
It's the crew from hell. What do you think about our boat, Pascal?
I feel I need a tetanus shot just from looking at it.
They'll rise to any challenge.
Lieutenant Lake, you're almost out of uniform.
But you never saw anything like that on one of them big nukes.
And prepare for the mission
You're gonna clean up the Stingray and take her out.
What's our mission? Rescue Gilligan?
that will make their careers.
These men love me!
Don't go by the book. Think like a pirate. Let's kick this pig. One rebel diesel. Prepare for duty!
Does he mean underwater?
Against the U.S. nuclear navy. Torpedoes are hot.
You are targeted.
Battle stations.
Up against incredible odds.
We're on it, sir.
It's up to the crew of the USS Stingray
Stay Orlando.
All hands, we are now going silent.
to use their unique talents
Hear something? Sounds like a whale.
Yeah, with a false alarm.
to beat the Navy at their own
Fire two. What?
war game.
Sweet!
20th Century Fox presents the movie The Navy doesn't want you to see.
You ever hear the Mile Deep Club?
You ever hear the salad bar?
Kelsey Grammer,
Polishing the old torpedo sack. God, I love this job.
down Periscope.
What are you doing?
As little as possible, sir.
Buckman.
Yes, sir!
Thank you, Buckman. That'll be all.
Well, Skipper's excited for this one. Let's see how many people remember this movie. Please comment below. So yes, this is, no pun intended. So this is Down Periscope, starring Kelsey Grammer, and I will review it right after this very funny commercial with your favorite poison soft drink.
Which one do I really want? Mellow Yellow or Mountain Dew? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. Paper, rock, scissors. Why use all that mathematical, analytical analysis? I'll just pick the one I like the best. Make the mellow yellow move. Know what I mean?
Well, folks, which ones did you like better? Did you enjoy Mellayella or did you enjoy Mountain Poo? Oh, I mean Mountain Dew. So please let me know in the comment below. At least Ernest was there to give your bathroom experience some comical relief, other than that other painful relief that you just had after you had these beverages. So moving on, so this is Down Periscope. This is starring Kelsey Grammer, who he needs an introduction. Oh dear. He was in Cheers. Apparently this is his film debut. So he was in Cheers for many years. He was in Frasier for I think maybe 11 seasons. So he was very successful. Then he did Down Periscope. He was in a film after this one as well, but I forgot the name of it. And then they redid Frasier, and it didn't go over well. And now he's on another show where he plays a lawyer. So that is pretty much Kelsey Grammer. I know he had some issues. He had some on-stage feuds, I think, with Shelley Long on Cheers. I'm not sure how he was on Frasier. I know he had some substance abuse problems, so I could just imagine. I tried to find some stuff on this movie, but I'm trying to find out if people even remember this movie. It's not really talked about a whole lot. So now this is also co-starring Bruce Dern as Admiral Graham, who gives him this assignment. Bruce Dern was in The Great Gatsby, The Horrible Great Gatsby, The Burbs. He was in that. He was in a movie called Nebraska. And then we also have Rip Torn is also in this movie. We just saw him in Men in Black. So obviously he's in this, Men in Black 1 and 2. And then he was also in Freddy Got Fingered. So Rip Torn is in this for a little while. Not a real big part for him, but he's in it. And then William H. Macy is in part of this as Captain Knox. And William H. Macy should not need an introduction either, but I guess he's going to get one. So he was in The Lincoln Lawyer, Air Force One. He was in a little bit of ER in the early years. He was in Searching for Bobby Fischer. He was in a movie called Fargo. And no, 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 and no. And he was also in The Client. So that is just to name a few. So William H. Macy is, oh yes, and he was in Jurassic Park 3 as well. So yes, he has been in several things. This is maybe just the jumpstart of his career. And then we also have some other actors in this. Lauren Holly is in this. She was in Any Given Sunday. She played Cap Rooney's wife in that. And in this, she plays the only female officer on a ship with a bunch of clumsy Navy people. So this will be very interesting. And then we have the talentless Rob Schneider is in this movie as Marty Pascal. Yes, Rob Schneider. Shouldn't need an introduction, but I will give it anyway. He was in Home Alone 2. You would have recognized him. He was with Tim Curry as one of the people that ran the Plaza Hotel. He was the skinny guy, the one that got the gum as a tip. Yeah, well, I don't know. He kind of was. And he was in Grown Ups. He was in Big Daddy. He was in Necessary Roughness. He was the sub guy. He was the guy that always did the delivery stuff. He was in Chuck and Larry. He was in Bench Warmers. Yes, The Animal, European Gigolo, Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo.
What the heck was all
I never saw them. I never wanted to see them. He was also in Surf Ninjas. He was in Saturday Night Live.
that? Okay, I think we had
He has too much of a long career that should have never taken off. So I think that is pretty much it for the introduction of the actors. So the story is very simple here. Kelsey Grammer, who plays, I think it's Lieutenant Dodge. I'd have to look up what rank he is. So, anyways, he is looking to finally get a chance to be a commanding officer on a nuclear submarine. They are not run on diesel anymore. So Admiral Graham decides to give him his own boat, but it turns out it's not really one that he really. It's not a very attractive looking boat. It's it's like the ugly girl next door that you don't want to date. That is his boat. So he's a little disappointed, but hey, this is his shot. So he ends up kind of playing a war game, they like to call it. So he has to then pretty much go against nuclear subs. Pretty much the U.S. It's just a war game to see if he can handle it. That's pretty much the whole story there. But Admiral Graham, who is he would fit in well with Generation Boring. He handpicks this crew for him, so he handpicks the worst crew possible to make sure he fails. Will he? Well, I'm not going to tell you that. So I will show you the first clip now, and I will get right into it. Well, this is why the Navy may not like him very much. As you can see, Kelsey Grammer is not exactly playing Dr. Fraser Crane in this. He is completely laid back. Obviously, he likes a good joke. He's messing around. So Generation Boring would not like this guy at all. So now we have to now show him with the Admiral. I tried to do this all in one clip, but 20th Century Police, 20th Century Fox owns this. So they are going to be very strict, I think, with my clips. They might be more lenient because this is down Periscope. All right, well, Disney flat out owns it, and that is a no fun company, even though it is pretty much parading around a magical mouse. So I will now show the next clip of the Admiral showing him his nice new boat.
Your new boat.
USS Stingray, SS-161.
Well, this is his boat. Actually, well, at least we know Rosie O'Donnell's in worse shape. So that should cheer him up just a little bit. So, I mean, obviously, this boat here doesn't look very good. It's probably got mushrooms growing inside the bathroom. So they'll have to de-mushroom those immediately because I don't want to know the condition of those. So they might want to get Bob Vila in here as fast as possible. Oh, no, they don't. He would make it worse. He's better off just doing it himself. So he has to make the best of this interesting situation. Now let's see how his crew is, and we get to meet wonderful Marty Pascal, the XO, in just a second.
Good morning, sir. Martin D. Pascal, Executive Officer of the Stingray, sir.
Cover the volume control, Pascal.
Excuse me, sir.
Lieutenant Commander Tom Dodge. You're kind of young for an XO.
Excellence knows no age, sir.
Uh-huh. Speaking of age, what do you think about our boat, Pascal?
I feel I need a tetanus shot just from looking at it. The only
So this is Marty Pascal, and I don't think Kelsey Grammer. I don't think this was actually a line here when he said, "Do you come with the volume control?" I think that was just him just saying that just because he wants him to go down to zero. I kind of wish that Kelsey Grammer just threw him right off the dock. So this is Rob Schneider trying to be funny right off the bat. He's not. So he obviously asks him what he thinks of the boat, and of course he gives his response. So so now we have Marty Pascal here as I guess he will be the disciplinary officer on this boat, obviously. So you can't have Tom Dodge. It is just Tom Dodge. There is no rank that they give him. So they have to give them separate personalities where Tom Dodge is nice and laid back, and Marty Pascal pretty much has a rod up his butt. So now what the crew decides to do is because there's one female officer on board, they decide to shrink her clothes. So now the one cook on here, who is Buckman, was actually the Santa Claus in the movie Home Alone. That is how he got his start. He was also in the movie Groundhog Day with my wonderful Bride to Be's favorite actor, Bill Murray. So so now we will see what type of actions are in play because they decided to shrink um, poor Emily's clothes. So I will show that clip in just a second.
Blake, you're almost out of uniform. Either you're confused about your dress size or there's been some foul play.
Hey, if it's a disqualifying offense, I'd like to take full and sole responsibility, sir.
Gentlemen, I want to know who did this or shore leave is canceled tonight. Very well. Everybody back into the boat.
Well, obviously, he did some type of discipline here because they decided to shrink her clothes. And I believe Buckman's actor's name is Ken Hudson Campbell. So Ken Hudson Campbell Soup here was in on the shrinking of the clothes. So he sends everybody back on deck, and of course the XO had to put his 2 cents in, which is pretty much all he's really worth. So now they did fix this ship up, and it does actually look pretty cool. And one thing Tom Dodge, Kelsey Grammer said to the Admiral when he took this mission was, "Is the crew from World War II still with the ship?" That wouldn't be such a bad thing. At least they had a work ethic then. So I'll show you what the ship looks like. This will be a still, so 20th Century Fox cannot take it down. So I will show that in just a second. So I have to say, they do actually make it look like a really nice submarine. It actually looks really, really cool. So I actually enjoyed what they did with this movie here. I know this was it was just a simple comedy, not a huge hit or anything, but it's not bad. So far it is actually pretty enjoyable. I've seen this a few times. But just the look of it really isn't bad for being kind of a cheesy comedy. So now they're testing the submarine to see how far down it can go. So um, hopefully it holds up, but we will find out.
But you never saw anything like that on one of them big nukes.
Bingo! 500 feet! God, I love this job.
Well, it can. I guess 500 feet is okay. I mean, it sprung a couple leaks, but he does have to see what it could do. So he is. I like how nice and relaxed he is, and everybody else is pretty much holding on for dear life. It's like they are aboard the Titanic or something. And nope, Tom Dodge is just there, just saying, I see what she can do." So I'm just going to be nice and relaxed, and I'm going to enjoy this, even though I've got an interesting crew, a old ship, and a really annoying XO. So now I will show you. Let's see, Admiral Graham Cracker here with Captain Knox as he is telling him about his little war game. So I will show that clip in just a second.
Are about to take part in a highly experimental war game conceived by Admiral Winslow. The objective is for the Orlando to protect Charleston against an unknown submarine that'll try to invade the harbor. I would love.
Well, my nice little guest here is awake. So I guess he thinks that this is a little unfair too. This is Admiral Graham Cracker pretty much telling um, Captain Knox here that he didn't that there is a little sub invading their territory and he wants them to do the war game. So he is pretty much just leading Tom Dodge to fail, and this is sort of the proof of it. So now we will see the XO, and we will see how he treats the nice cook there, not Chef Ramsay, but I think he was a chef at Bella Pizza. So we get to see how he treats Buckman, the chef on board of this ship. So I will show that clip in just a second.
There was a fingernail in my food! You fat-ass moron! Yesterday, it was a Band-Aid! I'm sorry, sir. Band-Aid was holding the fingernail on. What else do you put in your sauces, Buckman? It's an old family recipe, sir. It's a secret.
Well, this scene here was funny, but because we get restrictions, I can't show the whole thing. Unfortunately, I wish I did not show the beginning of this clip. I wish I showed the stuff after. So he doesn't just yell at him for this little scene here. He yells at him for everything. He yells at him for the expired food, which I guess you're not really supposed to do. So imagine. So I think he tries to be John Taffer in this scene here. It just doesn't work out well. So so Buckman does spray everything, including the floor and the ladder. So there are more accidents that so the XO does end up falling, which is what I wish I did show. It was really funny to see that. I wouldn't be surprised if the actor really did trip Rob Schneider on purpose. So this scene here is definitely one to check out. So now there's an interesting scene coming up here that I wasn't even going to show. It's one that I forgot about. So we'll see what happens when you let these interesting former pizza delivery people on a submarine. Let's see what happens when he decides to eat his food.
almost sounded like an explosion.
Was it so this was a very funny scene. See, on a submarine, if you're by the enemy, you want to stay silent. I don't think Buckman can do that after he eats whatever he was making in the kitchen, something Gordon Ramsay would not approve of. So I'm sure that that was a very raunchy thing that went in and went out. So the obviously the Orlando thought that it was an explosion. The obviously the enemy submarine. So now I will be showing one of my favorite parts of this movie, and this is for my friend back home. He will enjoy this as well. So I will show what happens to the XO in just a second.
Mr. Pascal, have you any last words before you walk the planks?
You can't do this, you maniac! This is the modern Navy! People don't walk the plank!
Luck be with ye, Mr. Pascal. Walk!
This is crazy! This can't be happening! You lost it, Dodge! You control the wind! You'll hate for this! Stop when you're all hate!
Colonel Ocean, from which we came, receive Lieutenant Martin Pascal. May God have mercy on his soul.
Now you're my maggot. Watch that last step. Mommy!
Scene was great. There is nothing I like better than seeing Rob Schneider getting tossed off of a boat.
You're welcome. That scene's gonna get cut off our video.
It may not. I've got annoying optimism that it will not. But Walt Disney probably woke up in his grave and he's going to make sure that that clip gets cut. So, anyways, so now I will just show one more clip here. Um, will so Tom Dodge has a little scare tactic up his sleeve. So I will show you what that is in just a second.
Tubes 1 and 2. Aye, sir.
Torpedoes?
Trust me.
1,100 yards to target and closing.
Well, this is the final clip here. So he's supposed to be using flares because, like I said, this is a war game. But he's going to scare them with torpedoes. I am not going to tell you, of course, how it ends. You're going to have to find it out for yourself if you still want to see this movie. Or if you have, let me know what you thought of it, because this is, like I said before, this is not one that is talked about. So the two clowns did end up reviewing this movie. So we will see what their opinion is on it. So we will go to that in just a second.
Service comedy down Periscope.
No disrespect to the USS Rust-Oleum here, but this is ridiculous.
Son, but to relocate.
Really?
Really? Buckman!
Yes, sir!
Thank you, Buckman. That'll be all. TV's Frasier, Kelsey Grammer makes his starring film debut as a put-upon submarine commander in Down Periscope, a routine service comedy that almost makes it because it has been so beautifully mounted and shot. A great production of familiar lightweight material. Here's the setup as Grammer is informed by an admiral played by Rip Torn that if he can successfully test a ramshackle sub, he'll get a permanent submarine command post on a classier boat.
That's why you're going to clean up the Stingray and take her out off the Atlantic coast for a series of war games. One rebel diesel against the U.S. nuclear navy.
Naturally, Grammer has been saddled with a crew that is as moth-eaten as the sub itself. Here begins the parade of characters with Rob Schneider as the new executive officer, second in command.
You're kind of young for an XO.
Woman on board, of course, and she's played by the striking Lauren Holly, made more striking when the crew shrinks her uniform in the wash.
Lieutenant Lake, you're almost out of uniform. Either you're confused...
Fine physical production. Here's an example as one of the sub's crew members fools a competing sub by making whale sounds. This picture looks real.
Say biologic.
Sounds like a whale. Usually comedies like this look cheesy, not down Periscope. There are some laughs. It's not a bad piece of work. I just didn't like it enough to recommend it to friends or family. So why would I recommend it to you?
Well, I did like it enough to recommend, although it's a marginal picture, but I found it pleasant. I like Kelsey Grammer's work. I felt that he was very wise to be laid back and not to be trying to sell every line.
That's
and
true.
I liked an actor named Harlan Williams who played Sonar. We saw him there doing the whale sounds. He's got the great ears. At one point, some sailors on the other submarine dropped some change, and he says, "A quarter and 2 dimes."
Yeah, right. No.
And there are a lot of moments like that. And it's an interesting film. The story, the underlying story of what they're trying to do is interesting. And I was surprised that I did enjoy it.
I was surprised only by the real physical production. It's classy. It's not bad.
Okay, when we come back, Elmer.
Well, Siskel the Grouch seems, I guess he's a half grouch on this one. So he says that he sort of liked it. He said it was classy. I don't know. I don't know about that. I wouldn't. I don't know where he got classy from. I think he's just trying to sound intelligent. And then you have Toilet Chair over there, who liked the guy with the whale sounds, and I think his name is something Williams, Harold Williams. It doesn't matter because when Ebert was praising this guy, he really hasn't done much in Hollywood at all. So again, I think he's just trying to sound smart when instead we just made him look really, really stupid. Because yes, this part was really good. It was funny, but this actor hasn't really done anything. So their review is kind of gone to, well, what the ship was at the beginning. It just went to rust. So Toilet Chair Man and Grouchy Pants, yeah, they didn't really give you anything intelligent really at all. And they didn't really recommend the movie. Well, Siskel the Grouch did not recommend it, but I guess the Toilet Chair Man did. I don't know where you would be after watching that review. So, anyways, so I will get to mine. This movie was it is what it is. There were some funny parts in it. Yes, the story wasn't bad. Kelsey Grammer, I thought, was very, very good in it. Played a different part than like he did in Frasier and Cheers, for that matter. It looked like he had a good time with this role. I also liked William H Macy. Um, Lauren Holly was okay. Obviously, I don't like Rob Schneider. I liked Buckman. I liked some of the other crew members, but they could have done better with that. Um, so if I did have to grade this movie, I would actually give this a flat C. It's okay. It's average. It's not a horrible film, but it's okay. I'll watch it a few times. I got enough laughs out of it, and it put a smile on my face every now and then. There were no tights or capes or lasers, but it was very entertaining with what they had. So I'll definitely give this a slight recommendation. It's worth checking out. Give it maybe 2 tries if you didn't like it the first time. So it's just one of those. Maybe you can even watch this if you're doing laundry or if you have a loud relative or a loud dog. This would be the movie to put on if you just want something for background noise. So comment below if you like this movie or if you disagree with me. Um, and subscribe. It does help the channel. And thank you very much for watching.